Do you just want to heal for a brief period of time? Let's get into it. This is Sarah, your healthy carnivore in the UK, on day 178, I believe, on my last ever carnivore restart, never going back to mixed. Going to be one of those long-term super strict carnivores at last, after years of messing about. And I put my quote in first so that I would get the wording exactly right. This was a quote from Dawn from Resting Witch Face, aka the Happiest Carnivore channel, because she was doing a video. This was a video she'd made about a week ago, perhaps. It was a video where she said that she'd gained a couple of pounds but lost inches. So that's the video I'm referring to. If I think of it, I'll pop it in the description below, but I may not do that because I make a video in the morning at work. And then by the time I come out of work, I've had so many mental challenges to deal with. I've then forgotten about anything I've said in the video. So we will see if I remember to do that. And the quote really is, and I've now forgotten the words. So it's basically, do you just want to heal for a short amount of time? And it's such an important, this separates the people that want to do this for a long time and the people that are just doing it for short-term gain, short-term weight loss, short-term health benefits. But why would anyone do that for short-term health benefits? It doesn't make sense. And it's a great point she makes. I also refer to a comment made by my friend George Goodenough he put a comment on one of my videos talking about someone that he knew that had done it for short term and then went back and all the health problems came back and they haven't gone back to carnivore again. And Dawn's right. Do you just want short-term health benefits? I suppose, I guess it's how old you are, really. It depends on how much you are suffering, how serious the health problems were. Now, obviously, I've stopped carnivore myself multiple times and had to go back to feeling like crap. So I'm not here as a kind of a hypocrite. But let's just talk about what this means. I knew a lady once who, in the carnivore space, on zeroing in on health, who'd managed to get her mother on a carnivorous keto lifestyle and completely and utterly put dementia in remission. This mother had become more vibrant, was going out and living her old life. Imagine that. But we still don't know what causes dementia. We still don't know why people's minds start to go a bit fuzzy. Let's come up with a new drug. Let's just come up with a new drug. Give us money and we're going to come up with a new drug. Anyway, sadly though, once she got better, she was then going out, having a vibrant social life again, got back into our old carbohydrate, sugar addiction. The dementia returned and she wasn't able to, and then she ended up losing her mum. She didn't come back to that vibrant place. And then George, my friend George Goodenough, put a comment on my channel saying that he knew someone, I'm not going to say the name, doesn't really matter who they are, but someone that had found the carnivore lifestyle, found fantastic health benefits, and has now quit and gone back to the health problems. And I'm certainly never going back. So I now get to be, in theory, if all of my research and watching channels and learning about this lifestyle is correct, in theory, I'm not going to go back to having health problems, small or big. Let's hope that's true. I believe this is the way to go, and I have no other way of keeping myself calm about staying well. So I'm going to go with this one until I find some alternative. So I'm going to keep going. But the question was, do you really want to, if you know that it's managed to completely turn your life, I suppose this depends. It depends how desperate you are when you find carnivore. It depends how serious your problems are. Mine were mostly fairly small health niggles, but I know that people that have come into this with way more serious problems, very severe type 2 diabetes, where they are actually seriously starting to worry about what limbs they might lose later on, congestive heart failure, more serious things. I've seen people come out of wheelchairs. Do you think those people are going to go back? Do you think those people should go back? And the people that say that we shouldn't be eating a carnivore lifestyle, what does all this sound like to you? What does this mean? If we're not supposed to be eating a carnivore lifestyle, how are these people reversing things they're not supposed to reverse and coming out of wheelchairs? And now it all comes down to, are we doing it forever? Now this all comes down to whether you are seeing carnivore as forever or whether you are seeing it as, I'm going to do this till I've lost weight. But do you really want temporary health benefits, or do you want to stay well forever? So it's kind of food for thought there. I don't really know how to conclude that other than just pose the question and get people thinking. Is that temporary mouth pleasure worth the feeling old, feeling crippled, feeling out of control? Is it worth it for you? And only you know. I mean, for my mum personally, she was more interested in the mouth pleasure than the potential health improvement, and that was her choice. She did it her way. I don't think she made the right choice, but it was her choice. She's an adult. She was a grown woman over the age of 18 and was allowed to make that choice. But that's the question that I'm going to pose to you this morning. Do you put it in the comments if you think it's worth doing carnivore forever, just to never ever have anything wrong with you, or perhaps go back and suffer the consequences, because that's what seems to be happening. Okay, now I've spoken about that a little bit, and I want to shout out to Dawn for Resting Witch Face for, that was quite a powerful comment, and she said, do you just want temporary, relief from your health problems? And yeah, powerful. Thankfully, I've already decided to keep going with this now, but if I had have heard that, 6 months ago, I'd been like, wow, that could have made me really think. So thanks, Dawn, for that. It's amazing, isn't it? I've been in this space 10 years, but every day I still hear things that are new. I still find out new information. I still hear brilliant quotes that make you go, wow, that's something really interesting. Food for thought quote. I still believe, I know I keep talking about this, but it is important because it's something I've been waiting for. I still have got this feeling I might be fat adapting. I measured myself at the weekend and I realised that I'd lost 1/2 inch off my waist. And this morning, I didn't really have that much time because it was one of those chaotic mornings. Won't say why, but it was ridiculous. I don't know how I managed to find 1 minute for myself this morning, but I did. And I measured myself again, and actually now it's 3/4 inch. Now, maybe I mismeasured on Sunday, or maybe I mismeasured this morning, but my waist is shrinking at the moment. Whether that keeps going, I don't know. Whether that's something that's going to keep happening, or maybe it's just a little sudden lucky whoosh. We don't know yet, right? But it has given me a little feeling of an uplift. This morning I wasn't that hungry. I did try to eat, but I couldn't eat all of my breakfast, which is another sign of fat adaptation. I also am now getting the all-day energy where I don't need to fat load at lunchtime. I remember talking to Dave Mack on his channel, and we were talking about all-day energy, and it was true, I did have all-day energy without carbs, but I did need to fat reload at lunchtime to keep that going. And so it was kind of truth, kind of not truth. I did have all-day energy, but I had to supplement with fat to keep that going because my body at that point wasn't able to access my body fat at that point. When I was talking about energy, I was basically saying without carbs. Last year and the year before, I was working in year 3 and 4 in a primary school, and there's boards everywhere talking about nutrition boards, talking about the importance of carbohydrates, and how they're completely essential and how they give us energy. That's what I was really referring to. I haven't eaten carbohydrates for months, but how am I breathing? How am I thinking? How am I getting up in the morning? Is it magic or something? But I was having the fat reload. Now I seem to be having this feeling of all day energy, and even at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock at night, my eyes aren't going in the chair like they were. I'm still going to bed at roughly that time because I like to enjoy going to bed early, getting up early. I just enjoy it as a routine. But I probably don't have to do that now. I don't have to because my body's dragging me off to bed. I'm actually still quite alert. And if I had to do something at that time, I could do it if I wanted to. So I am now getting officially the all-day energy. This is something that's been happening over the last couple of months. Now, I did say that I was taking this beef organ supplement, which I thought may be contributing to my energy. But one, the dose isn't that high and it takes a while to build it up. And 2, these beef organ supplements are not going to take my appetite away and cause me to shrink. Not in the short term. So I think, so this stage 3 that we're talking about, this stage 3 that Kerry talks about, because stage 1 being deciding to do carnivore, stage 2 going through those early adaptation phases, symptoms, and then stage 3 is when your body has worked out how to access the fat. Now for him that happened a lot earlier. For a lot of people it does. For a lot of men that does happen earlier. For women it can take 6 months or more to get the body healed enough, heal the hormones enough, get the insulin down enough to get that moving. And I have heard 5 to 6 months is a good estimate, and for me it does seem to be 5 to 6 months. I'm hoping I'm not just getting my hopes up and your hopes up, because I know that a lot of you have been watching my channel waiting for me to have this miracle that George Goodenough says. Had the miracle. I'm still waiting for mine, but it feels like it's creeping up on me, lurking up on me. Is it or not? We will see. I did get a few comments on because yesterday in my video I asked you to give your opinion on whether I should up my exercise at this point, or whether I should see if I am fully adapted all by myself. The reason I say that is because I've been in the space a long time. I follow a lot of the carnivore veterans, the carnivore sort of pioneers, who always had a very, very clear message. Their message was, don't over-exercise, don't try and force anything, don't tweak anything, just allow your body to heal. It will heal. That varies from person to person. For somebody, the fat adaptation could be 3 months, it could be 6, it could be 9, it could be a whole year for you before the fat drops off, but it will if you are willing to be patient and wait. And so I've had that in my head as my strategy, and not try and tweak, not try and micromanage, not try and do any forced exercise, any forced fasting, any forced macro counting, calorie counting, upping the fat, lowering the fat, upping the protein, lowering the protein, doing sardine fasts, anything. Just eating meat to satiation when hungry, stopping when full, drinking when thirsty, stopping when not thirsty, and waiting for the miracle. And I did get some comments, and I know that there was a couple of comments that said, start doing the exercise, and there were also a couple of comments that said, I think you should wait a month. Haven't decided yet which to go with. But this isn't to do with being lazy. This has got absolutely nothing to do with being lazy. For those of you that think, oh, she's just being lazy, she doesn't want to do weight training because she can't be bothered. She's just going to hope that things happen on their own because she can't be asked. It's not actually true. The reason I'm doing this is because I want to be able to say to people, I started losing weight at such and such a number of days. And I don't want people to come back to me and say, yeah, but you did actually start exercising at that point, didn't you? You did start doing your weights and going to the gym at that point, didn't you? And so there becomes this grey area of, was it the forced exercise or had my body just healed? Do you know what I mean? So I think I am going to wait the month. Not out of laziness. I am, as you know, the people that watch me a lot, I am testing the theory that if you go carnivore and stay carnivore, the weight will come down eventually, provided you're eating enough. I mean, there are plenty of women that come into this space who are chronically undereating. This has been noted many times. Many women have come into this lifestyle with a weight loss gain in mind, weight loss goal in mind, and they are chronically undereating. Now, I haven't been. I have been eating my full. I have not once. I mean, yes, okay, I may have had the odd busy day where I didn't get enough in because I was busy, but I have not once ever thought, I'm not going to eat any fat. I'm going to restrict. I'm going to only eat once today and eat 500 calories. Never. But there are a lot of women that come to this space and they don't lose weight. And when people go deep diving into what they are doing, it's mostly under eating. You would think it was overeating, wouldn't you? All the old knowledge that we were thrown down our throats for years and years and decades, eat less, move more. From what I've seen, the women that don't lose weight are the ones who are under eating and not nourishing their bodies properly. I've heard of people eating 800 calories a day, and then they were told to eat more, and now they're up to 1400 calories a day. I personally think 1400 is not enough. That's just my personal opinion. I'm not counting my things because I think that's diet behavior. But I'm easily eating over 2000 calories a day. Easily. Because I want to fix my hormones with all the fat, and I want to nourish my body, and I want my body to trust me that I'm never going to let it down ever again. And that means feeding it. Hell, I've heard of people that have upped their calories, so 3,500 a day, and started losing weight, and they can only lose weight at that level. So that completely blows apart the whole calories in, calories out, eat less, move more rubbish. And I've seen this happen so many times. And I knew for me, I had to settle in, get settled in, and then just do it. And I used to say to my son, my eldest son, I don't know when it's going to be for me. I just don't know how long I'm going to have to wait. And he said, Mum, you're going to have to find out. You are going to have to find out. And you won't find out until you settle in, become a long-term carnivore, and just get on with it. And then you will find out what your body healing time is. So I am not going to do any forced activity for the next month. I am going to continue with my life exactly the way it is and see what happens. So for those of you that voted, I'm thank you for that. I do realise that doing structured heavy exercise may trigger more fat adaptation, but then I get called out. Well, perhaps you should have been doing exercise from the start. Yes, but the original veterans and the original pioneers said to me and other people, don't force exercise, don't over-exercise, certainly don't do any sprinting. Let your body heal, nourish it, get your hormones fixed, and then the weight will come down all by itself as long as you're eating enough. Eventually. And so I want to stay true to that message. I want to be able to say, yes, without any forced changes, my weight started coming off at month. So I've made the decision. That's not to say I'm not going to do anything, but I'm not going to do anything that stresses the body, that pressurizes the body, not yet. Once I have confirmed that I'm fat adapted though, once I have made that ultimate declaration, I am now fat adapted and I am now losing pounds on a regular basis, I will add weight training then to speed it up if it needs speeding up. So that's what I'm going to do. So I know this was a long video. I wasn't actually going to do a video because we are so chaotic this morning. My youngest son has managed to land himself a detention at school, and we don't know who's going to pick him up because school's finishing early today, and it's one thing after another. It's always one thing after another in my life. Anyway, I'm going to go now because I think I've said everything I wanted to say. I hope I haven't got you all overexcited and myself overexcited over this starting to lose weight thing. It'd be just ironic that I've finally decided to get my scales out of my life for the long term, and then all of a sudden, bang, my body goes, oh, I fancy losing some fat now. Never mind. We've got rain today and it's very, very mild. So hopefully you've got better where you are. Sending love to anyone in the world who's struggling right now with events going on around the world at the moment. If you've got any meat, eat it. If you've got any water, drink it. And protect your peace at all costs and thrive. Thank you so much for listening to me today. Take care. Bye.